Well, it's an interesting thing to watch the personalities. The Minister for the Communications, Grand Noble Dan L., and the Minister for the Interior, Grand Noble Kedar Al-Kabir Bey, are working on the project jointly for the advancement of our operations. The Minister for the Communications has been around longer than the Minister for the Interior that we have now. And actually, wow, Grand Noble Dan L. goes back, ooh, he goes back basically about 10 Earth years. He's not from the very beginning, but he goes quite a ways back. He's, I guess you could say, on the Imperial Council you have some of the newer folks, and then you have what we refer to as the old guard. Grand Wazir being the last of the original council members, well, obviously he's old guard. Minister for the Customs is no longer like the middle ground. He's been around 8 Earth years now, so he's no longer middle ground, because he was, when he first came in, he was in between the old guard and the new guard. Now he's basically, he's old guard. Don't tell him I said that. And then, oh yeah, then you have the Minister for the Interior. He's been around for 2 Earth years now, and he's doing an excellent work. But right now, however, excuse me, they're working on something I can't talk about yet, in conjunction with Department for the Treasury and Budget. They're finalizing certain details as we speak. Certain matters that have been brought into our possession. See, we refer to Grand Noble Dan as the mad scientist. No, he's really brilliant. He built this robot and slaved it to his computer, so he's cutting logos into plexiglass and stuff like that. Really ingenious stuff. I like to see our folks who know a little bit about engineering, a little bit about architecture, and a little bit about general science, and putting it to good use. I love to see stuff like that. Anyway, this is just tinkering around, and because we're looking to do more of what we do for diplomacy and governance without having to subcontract particular parties to do various works for us. We want to get into woodworking, and we like to get into making chairs and things of this nature. We would like to have folks who know what they're doing with lathe and various woodworking equipment, so that we can make various things for export. We would like to have that done so that our offspring, we can teach them early and bring them into being artisans in wood carving, so that we can trade their items, and basically they can grow and they can trade their items, and basically give our folks something to do, constructive. And perhaps in the process, we will be able to show folks around the way, look, there's a viable option and we're it. And if you're looking for something to do, and you're serious, and you're not afraid of getting, the hands dirty, the elbow grease again, and, making it do what it do for something constructive, we could clean up family hoods, block by block, as they say. We don't use that term, but inch by inch, right away by right away, for how we would say it, byway by byway, one domicile after the other, of showing folks a viable option without having to be hitting the head with a brick from folks that's hostile to you. We really got to get our folks away from lower self, and to come back into thinking, acting, and speaking with a more central center of gravity. It's imperative, and the best way for us to do that is to put in work and show our folks the viable option that we have, where we do things in a manner that's sustainable. Allow folks to do things from a civilian mindset, with a Eurocentric bent. Well, not Euro. That's the equivalent of taking in a supply of blood into your body that's foreign to you. If you have type O blood, you can't take any other blood. It'll kill you. Well, you can't have a foreign mindset either. It'll kill you. And if you look at our folks in mass in general, our folks tend to be walking around clueless as to what in the world is going on, who in the world they are. So basically, by default, they have given up land and labor, and they've become zombies. They're basically civilly dead zombies. And you have folks that have been fleecing folks left and right, because there are folks looking to come out of that. And we're looking to say to folks, look, kill all that noise. We're here. And if you're serious, we can do some things. And with the staff that we have now, using our ingenuity, we'll be able to reach these folks and show them, as opposed to talking about things, showing them our viable alternative. And not from a civilian perspective that's basically doing things haphazardly. No. Order, discipline, protocols, processes, and procedures is what we have here. And when we show folks what we're doing, if they're serious, they'll put down the stupidity and the ego and the lower self. They'll put down them not knowing what's going on, and they will make moves for the better. And that means that we're doing what we're supposed to do. And I'm happy to be a part of any activity that will give our folks something constructive to do. And if we get a lot of our folks to change the way they do business, we could definitely show our babies a better light. And I'd like nothing more than to shut down the fleecers. And the best way to shut down the fleecers is to give our folks something constructive to do in a manner where they can see it, examine it, and make use of it. And say, look, you know, I'm seeing things here that's viable, as opposed to the dog and pony show that you're trying to show me over here in order to bum rush me into doing some stuff to line your pockets. Because that's what folks are doing. And it's ugly. You know it, and I know it.